Okay, here we are. We already measured the pistons, so now we can see, we're going to show you what you can do with that Performance Trend software now that we're going to measure the bores compared to the data that we already measured the pistons. Through my network, I was able to put this on this workstation's computer where the hone is. You can see the hone. And now it'll already have that data in the customer's file when we open it up, and that way you can just have one base program in your network and everything can draw from it. Whatever workstation you want to go to, cylinder head stuff, and then eventually into the assembly room if you want. So we're using a Sunnen bore gauge that's digital, and this function on this one, it has a freeze hold. So all you do is rock it, and it freezes to where it sees the cylinder being the smallest that it is. So now you don't have to hold it, write it down, guess at a number, and then automatically hit data send, goes right to our spreadsheet on a computer. That's simple. So once you get all that, and he's measuring it in 4 spots, 3 different depths. I'm measuring at 75 degrees, which is ambient temperature in my shop. Back here, that's the same temperature we measure the pistons at. So all the bore gauge standards and everything is all the same, otherwise we're just guessing. And this is probably overkill because we're measuring in hundredths. But in their software, you can fine tune that down and just take it to tenths. You know, it really doesn't matter, you know, at that point. But we're just trying to show you, with this, you can improve on your cylinder bore and your honing procedures by knowing this data. So here we're going to keep the readings, just so I don't lose them. Have happened a couple times. So I'm going to make a report. Here's a report of all the data. So you can see some of these cylinders, 3, I mean, that's dead nuts, round. This one's with a 100th. This one's with a 100th. We're in a 100th, top to bottom. I mean, that's as round as straight in the middle. I mean, that's about as good as you're going to get. Saying we do that, we can make a graph with numbers. Now you can see all your sizes, your dimensions, but also you can see the shapes of what your cylinder looks like. You know, this is like the poor man's version of a PAT gauge that nobody in the world can afford except for, F1 shop or a cup shop or something like that, because it's just not feasible. So with that, now we can go to our piston bore clearance, because we already took the data from where we measured the pistons before, and I told you that A and B. So this was only going to measure the A part, because we don't really care about what it was after the piston was coated. We want to know what the base clearance is of the base piston was. So here you can see 3.7, and this one we 3.9, 3.9, 3.7. So here we go. So basically we wanted 3,500 clearance, 3.5 to 4. We're right there in all parts of the cylinder, through the whole length of the cylinder. So that's just, one more thing that you can do with this software. There's more stuff that we can post more videos later as we continue to keep going on with this stuff. You can just look, if you really are concentrating on this, you can make the cylinder rounder, straighter by different honing techniques and stuff like this. And you can really see how easy that was to do without trying to write a bunch of numbers down and make it repeatable. With this bore gauge, it is super repeatable. So if sometimes it hurts my feelings when I do it, we go back and, I have Edgar do it. That takes me out of the loop of measuring it. It makes me come back, hey, we got something going on here. You go back in, adjust your hone, touch it, and make it as good as you can.